we learning something?
A re ithuta se
Are we learning
sengwe.
something?
A re ithuta
And
se
you must
sengwe.
understand why the Apostle Paul, when he comes, he calls
Tshwere
them
moapostola
brothers
Paulo
and
ga a
sisters.
etla. O ba
He
bitsa
calls them
bokgaetšedi
what?
le bomorwarre.
Sisters. But now, before we go there, I
Pele
want
re ya
us
moo.
just go to Galatians 4,
Ya
verse 4.
bakgalati wa
If you
bone.
understand, you'll scream.
Go ikwisha o tlo
Galatians 4,
goeletša. Bakgalati wa bone.
From verse 4. If you understand, you'll
Temane ya
scream.
bone. Go ikwisha o tlo goeletša.
Read Galatians 4 from verse 4.
Bakgalati wa bone temane ya bone.
So that some understand. I do believe I have
Ba
women here.
ba kwishisha.
I believe I have women here.
Tshepa re ke na le mosadi.
Some will understand. Some will understand. I don't know. Somebody just saw their Bible. Read there.
O mongwe o setse a bone ka ra Bible ya gagwe.
So we Jewish Christians also, when we were minors, were kept like slaves under the rules of the Hebrew ritual and subject to the elementary teachings of
Subject to the elementary teachings of what?
of a
Re ile go
system
dithutong
Of
nyana
a
tse.
system.
Tsa tsamaiso.
of external observations
Of external observations.
Tsa go tsepamela.
and regulations.
Uh-huh.
But when the proper time had fully come,
Wait. When the proper, you see, a woman comes at the proper.
O tla ka nako ya gabotse.
Come on, I don't know if somebody gets this now. A woman, when the proper time comes.
Ge nako ya gabotse e tla.
You see, if you find a wife without a woman, without a good thing, it's not yet. It's not yet proper time.
A se nako ya gabotse.
It's not yet proper time.
A se nako ya
Read there, repeat there.
Bala mo.
so we Jewish Christians
We
also,
Jewish Christians also,
when we were minors,
when we were minors,
Ge be re sa le ba banyenyane.
were kept like slaves under the rules of the Hebrew ritual
we were kept like slaves under someone,
Ka makgoba ka tlase go mongwe.
meaning a child of someone,
E ra gore ngwana wa o mongwe.
according to that religion.
Go ya ka sedumedi seo.
Let's go.
A re gateleng pele.
and subject to the elementary teachings
And subject to the elementary
Re
teachings
ya ka
under
dithutwana
someone,
tse dingwe re ka tlase ga o mongwe.
someone mothering you.
O mongwe e leng mme wa gago.
under the elementary teachings of a system of external observations and regulations.
Yes.
But
But you must hear, when he says
Fela.
but,
Fela.
when he says but, look
Ge
at
re
him never say
fela.
but.
E lebala moagišane wa gore fela.
But.
O re fela.
Now let's hear the reality.
But when the proper time had fully come,
When the proper time had fully come, the law
Ge
is
nako ya
finished.
gabotse e fitlhile.
Not under rituals, not
E seng
under,
ka tlase ga
but
ditsamaiso tse
proper
rileng.
time comes.
Nako ya gabotse ge e fitlhile.
God sent his son,
God sent his son,
Modimo a roma morwa wa gagwe.
born of a woman,
a woman gives birth to a son, not
Mosadi
someone
o tswala
under.
morwa, e seng o a leng ka tlase.
A woman gives birth to a son.
Mosadi o tswala morwa.
Now it says unto us,
A re mo go rena.
not unto us.
Mo go rena.
Isaiah 9, do we get it? Unto us
Mo go rena.
a child is born.
Ngwana o belegilwe.
Unto us
Mo go rena.
a child is born.
Ngwana o belegilwe.
But the son is given.
E
There's
fela morwa
a
o
difference.
filwe. Go na
The
le
child is
pharologano.
born.
Ngwana o belegilwe.
But for so God loved the world that
E
he
fela
gave.
Modimo o
He
ratile
gave,
lefatshe gore
he
a
gave,
fa,
he gave
a
the
fa.
son.
Morwa.
So God produces. So born of a woman giving. There are people
Go na le batho
who give birth
ba belegang.
to children.
Ba belega bana.
There are those who give.
Go na le ba
Sons.
barwa.
You must get it.
O tshwanetse o ikhwetse.
Unto us a
Mo
child
go
is born,
rena ngwana o belegilwe.
and the son is given.
Morwa o filwe.
So he can be born without being given to you.
A ka belega ka ntle le gore a fiwe wena.
He can be born without being given to you.
A ka belega ka ntle le gore a fiwe.
Let's go, let's go.
A re gateleng pele.
but when the proper time had fully come,
When the proper time had fully come,
Ge nako ya gabotse e fitlhile.
God sent his son,
God sent his son.
Modimo a roma morwa wa
Born of
gagwe.
who?
A
Born of who?
tswetswe ke mang?
So for Jesus to be born, God chose a woman.
Gore Jesu a belege Modimo o kgethile mosadi.
And this woman was not yet married.
Mosadi o ba se sa nyalwa.
This woman is not yet married,
mosadi yo ba se se a
but she's a
nyalwa
woman.
e fela ke
So
mosadi.
Joseph found
Josefa o kraileng
who?
Josefa o kraileng
He who finds a wife finds a good. So a good thing is a woman.
Selo sa gabotse
So
ke
God
mosadi.
looked at Mary and said, this is a good thing. But she was not married.
Se ke sa gabotse e fela ba sa nyalwa
She was not married.
ba sa nyalwa.
Let's go.
A re gateleng pele.
God sent his son,
God sent his son,
born of a woman,
born of a woman,
A tswetswe ke mosadi
born subject to the regulations of the law,
born subject to the regulations of the
a
law,
tswetswe go ya ka tsamaiso tsa melao
to purchase the freedom,
to purchase the freedom,
go reka tokologo
to purchase the freedom of,
to purchase the freedom of,
go reka tokologo ya
to ransom,
to ransom,
go patela
to redeem,
to redeem,
gore a hlatswege
to atone for
atone for
gore a emele
for those who were subject to the law,
those who were subject to the
go ba be ba le ka tlase ga eng
law.
go molao
that we might be adopted and have sonship
That
conferred,
we may be adopted and have what?
gore rena re tšeiwe re be
And have what?
and
re be
have
leng
sonship conferred upon
Sonship
us.
conferred upon us.
re tšeiwe bjale ka
I
bana
want
ba
to
modimo
so
godimo- mo go rena
God chose a woman.
modimo kgethile mosadi
If God wants to give birth with a good incubator is a woman.
ge modimo a nye go tswala gabotse motho wa gabotse
Because
mosadi.
if you are a wife,
ge o le mohumagadi
you will come and ask your husband,
o tlotla o botša monna wa gago
why did you listen to your wife?
ke ka baka lang o theleditše mohumagadi
But now, because Abraham found a good thing,
ka gore abrahama o kgoditše selo
when
sa
she
gabotse.
says to Abraham, get rid
Ge a re go
of the woman, the
Abraham,
slave woman, and the son, Abraham is head.
Abraham
God comes
modimo wa tla
to Abraham.
o tla go abraham
Now she's a woman.
bjale ke mosadi.
Listen. God said, listen to Sarah.
modimo a re theletša sara
God said, listen to who?
modimo a reng
So if Abraham wouldn't listen to Sarah,
ge abraham ke ba sa theletša sara
God would come.
modimo ba tlo tla
Who did you listen to?
o theleditše mang
Hagar or Sarah?
o theletše hagai ba sara na
But because the seed of Hagar was not living in Abraham,
ka gore hagare ba sa phele
Abraham remained loving Sarah.
abraham o tšweletše pele a rata
So you
sara
see, where there's love,
mo go na le
there's
lerato
he.
go na le yena
Where there's love, there's
mo go na
he.
le lerato go na
And
le
where
yena.
there's he,
Mo go na le
there's the
yena.
presence of God.
Go na le bogona ba
Where there's
Modimo.
he, there's
Mo go na le
moisture.
yena. Go na le
Do you love
monono.
Jesus Christ?
A rata Jesu
Say love
Kriste.
Jesus.
E re ke a
That's
rata
why it
Jesu.
says,
Ke baka le e re,
you can heal the sick.
o ka fodiša
If you
balwetse.
let love, you're nothing.
Go tlhoka lerato a o
You
seo.
can speak in tongues of men and tongues of
O
angels.
ka bolela ka maleme
But
a
if you let
manyeloi
love,
le mo-
you are nothing.
Go sena lerato a o
You
seo.
are nothing.
A o seo.
Where there's love,
Mo na
there's
le
completeness.
lerato. Go na le botlalo.
There's completeness.
Go na le
Do
botlalo.
you love Jesus Christ?
A rata Jesu
Where there's
Kriste.
love, there's
Mo na le lerato.
completeness.
Go na le
That's why
botlalo.
now when we go to the prostitute,
Ge re ya go mosadi wa seotswa,
God said
Modimo
to the
a re,
disciples,
go barutwana,
he who loves much
o a ratang kutu,
shall be forgiven much.
o tlo
And he
tshwarela
who
kutu.
loves less
O a ratang
shall be
ganyane,
forgiven less.
o tlo tshwarela
He who
ganyane.
loves much, referring to the
O a ratang
prostitute,
kutu.
yet she's
A
a
re go
woman.
mosadi wa seotswa, e
He,
le mosadi.
because there's love,
Ka gore go na
there's
le lerato.
completeness.
Go
God
na le
is love.
botlalo. Modimo ke lerato.
A woman came from love.
Mosadi o tswile mo leratong.
Hallelujah.
Do we love Jesus Christ?
A rata Jesu
Do you love
Kriste.
Jesus Christ?
A rata Jesu
That's why
Kriste.
now, for
Ka baka leo,
if one has fallen,
ge o mongwe a
she
wele,
has to be trained.
o tshwantse a katišiwe.
And how is she trained?
O katišiwa bjang?
If you still suffer with respect, you still suffer with being watched obedience.
Go o sa sokola ka go hlatswa go
Are we clear?
ikokobetša.
Look, there's nowhere where the Bible says
A gona mo Bible e reng
wives
basadi
love
ratang
your husbands.
banna ba lena.
There's no way.
A gogo,
There's no way.
a gogo.
But your actions will prove that you're a woman.
E fela mediro ya gago e tlo netefatša gore o mosadi.
Now, when God comes,
Ge modimo a
the
etla,
man as the head.
monna bjale ka tlhoko.
Ephesians 5, what does it say?
Ba Efeso botlhano
It
e
says,
reng,
wives, be submissive to your husband as unto the Lord, like the
basadi
Lord himself.
ikobeleng banna ba lena, o
And
tshwanela
now,
le go ikobela
the
Modimo.
last verse it says,
Temana bofelo e re,
wives, respect
e re basadi tlhomphang
your husband.
banna ba
And
lena.
to the husband it says, love
Go banna e re
your
rata.
wives.
basadi ba
And
lela.
now, when you come respecting,
Ge o tla o tlhompha,
the man begins to interpret love
monna o thoma go tlhalosa lerato.
from a woman. Because
Go
men
mosadi.
just interprets
Ka gore banna ba tlhalosa
through your respect.
ba ka tlhompho ya gago.
Now he begins to love.
O thoma go rata.
So you are the one to activate.
Ke wena o
Somebody
tshwanetse
gets
go
this.
dira gore
So you
se
are
šome.
the one to activate that
O
love.
tshwanetse o dire
You are the
gore
one to
lerato le
draw
šome.
that love from
Ke
him.
wena o tshwanetse o goge lerato
So
le
through
le
respect,
ka go tlhompha
he interprets.
wa tlhalosa.
So the man cannot interpret. The
Monna
man
a ka se
cannot
tlhalose.
name if there's no respect.
Monna a ka se kgone go fa leina o sena
The man
tlhompho.
cannot name. So you
A ka
begin
se
to
fe
do
leina.
what?
O thoma go dira
To
eng?
respect.
O thoma go
And when
tlhompha.
the man looks,
Monna wa
he begins
lebelela.
to see.
O
He
thoma go
interprets.
bona. Wa
Then he
tlhalosa.
can release.
Bjale a ka lokolla.
Then he can do what?
Bjale a ka dira
He
eng?
can
A ka dira
he can
eng?
release.
A
Say, I
ka
love you,
lokolla.
Jesus.
E re ke a rata Jesu.
Why is the Apostle Paul calling them brothers?
Moapostolo Paulo
And
ke eng a ba
sisters.
bitša morwarre le dikgaetšedi.
I want you to get this.
Ke nyaka o kgwetše
Jesus
se.
is saying to Mary, woman,
Jesu a re go
That's his mother.
ke mme wa
but he
gagwe.
calls her woman,
O mmitša mosadi.
meaning colleague,
E ra gore mošomi mmogo.
meaning we are one.
E ra gore re tee.
So woman,
Mosadi
not mother,
e seng mma.
but woman.
Mosadi.
Because she cooperated everything now.
Ka gore kopantšhitše dilo ka moka bjalo.
Are we clear?
A e hlwekile.
Are we clear?
A e hlwekile.
Do we love Jesus Christ?
A rata
So I
Jesu
want us to
Kriste.
understand why the Apostle Paul calls them brothers and
Ke nyaka o
sisters.
kweše moapostolo Paulo ke
Brothers
a ba
and,
bitša mo
and
morwarre
sisters.
le dikgaetšedi.
Because now, here comes Mary Magdalene.
Go tla
She
Maria
wants to
Magdalena.
touch Jesus in John
O nyaka
20.
o kgwatha Jesu.
Jesus says, Mary, don't touch me.
Jesu a re Maria o se ka
Go
nkgwatha.
and tell my brothers.
Tama o botša bo morwarre.
My brothers, you must get it. My brothers.
Bo morwarre
That
wa
I
ka.
still have to go to my father,
Ke
their
sa ya go
father,
tate wa bona,
my
tate wa
God,
ka.
their
Modimo wa ka.
God.
Modimo
My
wa
father,
bona.
the father, my God, their God.
Modimo wa
So
ka,
I
Modimo
want
wa
us to get
bona.
this. There are
Ke nyaka o
some
kgwetše se.
of you
Go na le ba bangwe ba lena
who are so demoralized
ba lo reng ba
because
setlhegile
of the
kudu
system.
ka baka la tsamaišo.
So according to Jewish tradition,
Go ya ka moetlo wa Bajuda
you respect all the regulations.
o tlhompha melao
But-
e ka moka e beilweng e fela
The woman gave birth
Mosadi.
to a son.
o belegile morwa.
When he says but, before, it means it
Pele.
was a Hebrew rituals,
E ra gore ba etsa e le
Jewish
meetlo ya-
Christians.
ya baheberu.
following their law.
Ba latela melao ya
Are we clear?
bona.
Following
A e
their-
hlwekile.
Following their,
Ba latela eng?
following their,
Ba latela eng?
their law. But now I know there are some people here.
Ke a
You
tseba
can't
go na
work
le
for
batho.
God. You can't work for God because you're carrying a system.
Ka gore o
In your
rwele
mind.
tsamaišo ka ra kgopolo ya
You
gago.
were married.
O bo nyetšwe,
You are no longer married.
a o sa nyetšwe.
You're carrying a system.
O tshwere tsamaišo.
How will I save God
Ke tlo šomela
when
modimo
I'm in
bjang.
this situation?
Ge ke le ka hara maemo a
We're going
bjale.
to conquer religion today
Re ilo fenya bodumedi tšatši la
because
mamoka.
someone came with religion.
Ka gore o mongwe o tlile
Because
ka
some they
bodumedi
say, listen, there's no one
A
who will
gona
be
o.
prevented today
O
as
a tlo
long as I'm
thibelwang
here with my
tšatši la-
Christ.
Ge
I want
ke
you
le
to hear
ngwana le
this.
Kriste wa ka, ke nyaka o kgwetše
You'll
se.
get it.
O tlo e hwetša.
Say, I love you, Jesus.
E re ke a o rata Jesu.
Say, I love you,
E re
Jesus.
ke a o rata Jesu.
Now, 1 Corinthians chapter 9.
Bakorinto wa pele wa senyane.
What does it say?
E reng?
1 Corinthians chapter 9.
Bakorinto wa pele wa senyane.
Say, I love my Father.
E re ke a o rata tate wa
I
ka.
just want you to hear this.
Ke nyaka o kwe seng.
Can I read?
A nka bala.
Am I not free?
A ka lokologa.
Am I not an apostle?
A ga se na moapostola.
Are you not free?
A wa lokologa na.
Are you not free?
A wa lokologa.
I repeat.
Ke a
Are you not
botšheletša.
free?
A wa lokologa.
Listen to this.
Theletša se.
Am I not free?
A ka
Am
lokologa.
I not an apostle?
A se na moapostola.
Have I not seen Jesus our Lord?
A ka bona Jesu morena wa
Are
rena.
you not the result of my work in the Lord?
A se nna dipoelo tša mešomo ya ka.
Even though I may not be an apostle to others,
Le ge nka se be moapostola go ba
surely
bangwe.
I am to you.
E fela ke yena go
For
lena.
you are the seal of my apostleship in the Lord. You are the seal of my apostleship in the Lord.
Boapostola ba ka go Modimo.
This is my defense.
Se ke itšhireletša ka sona.
This is my defense
Se ke
to those
ke
who
phemela
sit
ka
in
sona.
judgment of me.
Go
No
ba
one
ba
must
dulang
judge you,
ba
you must
ahlo-
get it.
A gona tshwanetse o atlhola.
No one must judge you.
A gona
Listen.
tshwanetse o atlhola.
Don't we have the right to food or drink?
A rena tokela dijo go ba go nwa.
Don't we have the right to take a believing wife
A rena tokela ya go tšea mosadi wa modumedi
along with us?
ga mmogo le rena.
A believing brothers and sisters, meaning believers.
E ra gore badumedi ba ena.
And Jesus calls them, go and tell my brothers.
Jesu a re sepela
The
le go
Apostle
tša
Paul
morwalo.
says, brothers
Apostola
and
Paul a reng,
and sisters. And now Abraham comes. When they try to take Sarah, he says, she is my sister. She's my sister. When the king says, why did you lie to me? Abraham said, yes, she is my sister. I don't lie because she's from my father's house. So from the father's house, women are sisters because they are believing. Listen, don't we have the right to take a believing wife along with us? As do the other apostles and the Lord's brothers. And Cephas, meaning Peter. Or is it only I and Barnabas who lack the right to not work for a living? Now, you must get it. It says a believing wife along with us, as do other apostles and the Lord's brothers. So they took a believing wife. Now, what is 1 Corinthians 7 says? Remember, it talks about a believing wife. Hey, if you stay with someone who is not a believer, it says do not seek divorce. How do you know if you could win her or you could win him? We're crashing religion now. It said a believing wife. Did you get it? It says for the unbelieving wife can be satisfied through the believing husband. Or the unbelieving husband can be sanctified through the believing. Now, he says we have the right to take the believing wife. Now, it says if the unbeliever lives, if the unbeliever lives, the believer is not bound. She's a believing. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. So she's a believing. Let's crush religion. I know some have been preaching it, but I want you to get it. She's a woman because she's believing. Because it says if the unbeliever lives, the believer is not bound. You are free. So what prevents you from working for God? Because it says, verse 15, it says, if the unbelieving one leaves. Let's read correctly because it won't just say the unbeliever leaves. It will mention a brother and a sister again. Listen to it. Chapter 7. Listen. From verse 15. But if the unbeliever leaves, he says, let it be so. Listen. The brother or the sister is not bound by such circumstances because he's the brother and the sister. God has called us to live in peace. God has called us to live in peace. So if you enter the house that does not deserve, keep your peace. I don't know if somebody, if you enter the house that does not deserve, keep the peace. Shake the dust from your feet. There's another house. That's where you can give your peace. So that's why I'm saying many were told women forgive easily, so you just go in. You are a woman, a believer. You are not bound by anything because everything you do, you still remain a good seed. When a bad seed is next to you, you still remain a good seed. You still remain a good thing. He who finds a wife. So there are people who are divorced but they still remain wives. Who are good. So don't be bound by regulations. I'll teach you. Listen to this. Listen to this. What God joined together, let no man separate. Ephesians 5 says, wives. It says, wives, be submissive to your husband as unto them. You see, it says, wives. They are married. But it's home affairs. It's not what God joined together. Because, listen, because it says, wives, be submissive to your husband as unto the Lord. For the Lord himself gave himself up for his wife, the church, and washed her. You see, she's still dirty. She's not a woman yet. She's dirty. So he gave himself up for his wife, the church, and washed her by the waters through the word. When she is washed, now he presents her to himself. So if presentation has not yet happened, you are a wife, but not a good thing. So a good thing, God comes, woman, colleague. So he says, after washing her, he presents her to himself. Now God joins together. But if there's still a struggle of submission, God had not yet presented her to himself. So Mary presented to God himself. She qualifies to give birth to the Son. So what God joins together, no man can separate. When they are presented, after all, anybody in marriage must save you. Why are the people who are not saved even if they're married? No presentation with the Lord. God has not presented you to himself. People who are married must be people who are in the spirit, because true worshippers worship the Father in spirit and in truth. So that's why Malachi said, why did God make them one? He made them one because he is the one God. If God is one, he makes them one. So God makes them like him. So God presents them to himself. So marriage, God presents you to himself because he makes you one. If he is one, he makes them one. If you are one, woman. So Jesus says woman. So the Apostle Paul, when he says brothers and sisters, it means believers, believing wife, believing husband. If the unbeliever leaves the believing one, the believer is not bound. Because the believer is presented to God himself. So many suffer from what we're talking about. So there are those, it's difficult to serve God because they've got previous lives. So I'm removing that religion in your mind. I'm removing that religion in your mind. Do we love Jesus Christ? Because what God joined together, no man can separate. So when God presents it to himself, it says without spots, without wrinkles, without any other blemish. When God presents it to himself, he is one with God. She is one with God. And God said, Jesus said, you must get it. What God joins together, no man can separate. Now the Apostle Paul explains it clearly in Ephesians 5. After explaining it, he says, this is a profound mystery. I'm talking about Christ and the church. Christ and the church. However, every man and woman on earth must live the same, not under the Hebrew rituals. He says every man and woman must live the same. It's not a license to sin. It's not a license to do what is wrong. Because if you do what is wrong, you're an unbeliever. But the believing one will always do what is right to prove that he's a woman. So he who finds. Do we learn this? Do you learn this? Because 1 Corinthians 9 says a believing wife. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 says, if the unbeliever leaves, the believer, meaning the believing brother or sister, is not bound. Listen how quiet it is. Many are from religions, so we crush it today. We crush it today. So now, who's a woman? When Mary was told about the child she's going to give birth to, it says the thing will be called the Holy Spirit. It says she kept and pondered everything in her heart. So Revelation 3, Jesus is saying, behold, I stand and knock at the door of your heart. When I come in I will eat and drink with you on my father's throne. So how did Jesus go in? How did Mary qualify to be a woman? When she was told, she opened her heart. She was told about everything that her son will do. And it says she kept and put, she opened her heart. So lift up your head, all you gates, woman, and let the King of glory come in. So Jesus came in. Many were not aware. If she kept and poured out everything hard, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. These people don't have wine. These people don't have wine. Women, what do we have in common? It's in her heart. There's something common. So just do what he tells you to do. So Jesus continues. From every statement that she speaks, Jesus continues. Because she's a woman. She's a? She's a woman. Say, I love you, Jesus. Say, I'm blessed above all. Say, I'm truly blessed from above. Say, I'm truly blessed. Are we blessed? Do you understand this? Do you understand this? Now, he named her woman. And God created a woman out of his rib. When she comes, Adam said, the name is a woman. She shall be called a woman. She shall be called a good thing. Now, verse 17 Genesis. Verse 17, what did God say? Say, love with Jesus. Say, love with Jesus. What did God say? To Adam, he said, because you listened to your wife. Did she listen to a good thing? Because he's still a wife. And he says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. What is a good thing? So you listen to what I did not create. The one I came with from your rib was a woman. The one I came with was a woman. So a woman, you are not a woman just because you are married. You are a woman because you incorporated mother. You incorporated wife. So if you have incorporated all, from you, springs of life can come. Springs of life can be revealed. Say, love you, Jesus. Do you love our Lord? Use your amplified there, verse chapter 7, 1 Corinthians, verse 15. Many think God cannot use them because of what they went through. It's not only the example that I'm giving. Many begin to look like where they come from. I'm a widow. I've never seen widows doing this. Because you are under those rituals. But I want you to be free today. Once, it's just like what people do. When you get married, you have a child. And because it's under the law, when you marry, we can see a sign that this person has a child. So you are under a ritual while you're still busy celebrating. Are you not washed? Are you not forgiven? Are you not justified? So if you wear that white dress, wear that white dress because you are forgiven. So the problem is people keep on putting a mark. So get the seal, the mark of our Lord Jesus Christ. So if you have the seal, you are a good thing. Remain good. So God does not forgive those who are clean. He forgives those who are dirty. Tell your neighbor, say he's here for the dirty. Say he's here for the dirty. Say he's here for the dirty and not for the clean. Say, love you, Jesus. Say, I'm blessed above all. Say, I'm truly blessed from above. So Father, Word, Spirit are one. So woman, wife, mother are one. They are one. Because you can be a mother and fail to be a wife. You can be a wife and fail to be a mother. But if you're a woman, you have incorporated everything. Do we love Jesus Christ? Read there.
But if the unbelieving partner actually leaves, let him do so. In such cases, the remaining brother or sister is not morally bound.
So that's a brother and a sister is not morally bound. Meaning a brother and a sister is somebody who believes. That's a believing one. So a good thing is someone who believes. These signs shall follow them that believe. So a believer, are we clear? A believer, somebody who has been presented to God himself. So it is by faith that you please God. It is by faith that you can please God. It is by faith that you can please God. Now, if that faith lives in you, the Apostle Paul will call you a brother or a sister because you're a believer. Say love with Jesus. Say love with Jesus. Now listen to this. Say love with my father. Say I'm blessed above all. Listen. I commend to you our sister, meaning she believes, she's a deacon. Our sister. Greet the brothers. Greet the sisters. So notice, meaning the believing brother, the believing wife, the believing sister, the one with faith, the one who pleases God. Faith causes us to be pure before God. You were saved by faith. By what? By faith. So now if we read Galatians 4, you can see clearly that this is a woman. But those who are under Hebrew rituals, that's how they used to live. That's why it says now, but a woman gave birth to a son. Why but? It takes away all those rituals. So the law must be dealt with in your life. So if the law is gone, you can serve God. So there are many women on earth, they cannot break through because they are too much under the law. They are not free. They are not free. I'm not saying control yourself. I'm not saying control yourself. What I'm saying, come out of bondage and become a free woman. Come out of what? Come out of bondage. Say love with Jesus. The same Galatians 4, verse 21. Tell me, you who want to be under the law, are you not aware of what the law says? For it is written, Abraham had two sons. One by a slave woman, meaning, you get it? By a slave, and the other by a free woman. Which woman do you choose? He who finds a wife who is free finds a good thing because she's a believer. You get it? His son by the slave woman was born according to the flesh. But his son by the free woman was born as a result of the divine promise. The divine what? Promise. So a slave woman will give birth to a slave son. But a free woman will give birth to a son from above. Listen, these things are being taken figuratively. The woman represents two covenants. The woman represents two covenants. I repeat, the woman represents two covenants. So if you are a woman, it's either you are the New Testament, the covenant, or you are the Old Covenant. If you are the New Covenant, a woman represents the New Covenant. You represent the New Covenent. But if you represent the Old, you'll be bound and remain like that. You won't be free and show the greatness of God. So the New Covenant, when it's opened, I don't know if somebody gets this. Now, Jesus, when he says, eat my body, that's not the head, it's his body. That's not the head, it's his body. It's the covenant representing a woman, representing the body of Christ, represent the woman. Now, when is the woman? Are we getting it? Now, the new covenant represents the woman. So these two women represent two covenants. So it depends whether you are the old covenant or the new covenant. So he who finds the new covenant finds the good thing. But he who finds the old. So, Adam, why did you listen to the old covenant? Are we clear? Are we clear? Why did you listen to the old covenant? Do you love Jesus Christ? Listen. The women represent two covenants. One covenant is from Mount Sinai and bears children who are to be slaves. Mary gave birth to a child who's not a slave, he's a son. Listen, this is Hagar. Now, Hagar stands for Mount Sinai in Arabia and corresponds to the present city, Jerusalem. Now, let's wait there. Corresponds to the present city, Jerusalem. She represents Mount Sinai. Now, Jesus meets with the Samaritan woman. She draws water from the well of Jacob. So what did Jesus say? Our fathers drew from this well. He talks about the city, Jerusalem, the mountain. Now, Jesus said it's not in the mountain nor in the city. Jesus said it's not in the mountain nor in the city, but it's in spirit and in truth. It's in spirit and in, it's not mountain nor the city, but it is in spirit and in truth. So there are many women who are not pushed in spirit. They're pushed under slavery. So the two women represent two covenants. Are we learning it now? Are we learning it? Where is a good thing there? Where do you sow your seed? Where do you give your peace? Where is oneness of Father, Word, Spirit? Woman, wife, mother. It says they represent two covenants. Otherwise, if you have children here, you must not serve God. If you are separated, the unbeliever left you, stop serving God because you're under a Hebrew ritual. I'm here. Lesego Daniel, to set everybody free from the law. Listen. One covenant is from Mount Sinai, and Jesus says in John chapter 4, it's not in the mountain nor in the city. You get it? You get it? You get it? The woman represents two covenants. One covenant is from Mount Sinai and bears children who are to be slaves. This is Hagar. Hagar stands for Mount Sinai in Arabia and corresponds to the present city, Jerusalem. It's not in the mountain nor in the city, Jesus says, John 4. But it is in spirit and in truth. So this woman who is a slave represents what? What? So it's the city and the mountain. Because she is in slavery with her children. With her children. But the Jerusalem that is above is free, and she is our mother, woman, mother. These two women represent. Now she is what? Our mother. For it is written, be glad, O barren woman, you who never bear a child. You who never bore a child. Shout for joy. Cry aloud, you who were never in labor, because more are the children of the desolate woman than of her who has a husband, than her who has. Woman, where's your husband? This one has a husband, but this one has the one from above. Do we get this? Now Jesus comes. Woman, where's your husband? She had husbands. She was not blessed. She could not produce. Barrenness in the spirit must be experienced by every woman. Because blessed are you when you're barren. Because your children do not come by the will of the husband, but they come by the will of the father. The father produces a woman. The father produces a woman. That's why now from the beginning it's the man who was naming. When John the Baptist was supposed to be born, Gabriel the angel told Zechariah that you're going to have a child. You're going to have a son. So his argument was that Elizabeth at the age, she's already gone. She can't have children. You get it? The child has already been named. It's an anointed child. The name, if you refuse it, if you disbelieve, you'll get sick. Zechariah got sick until when the child is born, everybody was arguing in the family. And they ended up saying, but according to our tradition, it is the father who must name the child. And when they come to him, he had to write down, his name shall be John. And the name raised him up from sickness. The name raised him up. The name opened his mouth. The name brought healing. The name brought deliverance. So it's because the father named, the father produces what is genuine. God the Father. So as a woman, you can carry that spirit. So lift up your heads, O you gates, and let the King of Glory come in. Let them come into your keep and ponder everything in your heart. And let the King of Glory come in. When the King of, out of your mouth, when it's in your heart, what do you speak? The new covenant, because you represent the new covenant. So these two women, there's another woman who represents the old covenant, but there's a new one who represents the new covenant. Which woman are you? Which woman are you? There are women who represent the old covenant. Because, listen, do you know that you're a builder? You're a builder. You can build. You are a developer. You're a developer. You can equip. You can equip. If 1 Peter chapter 3, that man changes, he says, without words, he changes. Who built him? When they see your reverence, when they see the way you conduct yourself. Let me read it so that you can get it. She's the one who built this man. 1 Peter chapter 3. 1 Peter chapter 3. Can I read it? Listen. Listen. Wives in the same way. Underline in the same way. Which way? Listen. Chapter 2 verse 23. The way I'm telling now is this one. When they hurled their insults at him, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. If you're a woman, you make threats. You retaliate. That's why when you go to chapter 3, it says, wives in the same way. Wives like Christ. Like Christ. It says in the same way like the previous chapter. Chapter 3 comes from chapter 2. So when it says in the same way, it says like Christ. When they hurled insults at him, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. Listen, verse 22. He committed no sin, and no deceit was found in his mouth. We get it? We get it? We get it? Listen. Listen. He made no threats. Verse 23. Instead, he entrusted himself to him who judges justly. Are we clear? Are we clear? Now, chapter 3, verse 1 says, wives, in the same way, meaning like Jesus Christ. So then you qualify. If it's the same way, he would say woman. He calls you woman. Wives, in the same way. So if it's in the same way, you're a woman, representing the new covenant. Now listen, wives, in the same way, submit yourself to your own husband, so that if any of them do not believe the word, they are unbelievers. So how do you build them? How do you build them? They may be won over without words, the same like Christ, without retaliating, without opening your mouth, without holding insult. Listen, they may be won over without words by the behavior of the wives. So that's how you win a husband, by the behavior of their wives. When they see the purity and the reverence of your life. So the only thing you need to do, let him see. Let him see. It's easy to win a husband. It's easy. Go into the new covenant. Represent the new covenant. So this woman represented what? The new? The new covenant. Say love with Jesus. Say love with Jesus. Say love with Jesus. Back to Galatians 4, we close. Say love with Jesus. Say I'm blessed above all. Hallelujah.
Glory to
Hallelujah.
Jesus. Glory to Jesus.
Verse 26. But the Jerusalem that is above is free, and she is our mother. For it is written, be glad of barren woman, you who never bore child. You who never bore a child. Shout for joy and cry aloud, you who were never in labor, because more are the children of the desolate woman than of her who has a husband. The one who has a husband, all the children is by the will of the husband. John chapter 1 from verse 12. To as much as those who have received Christ, they've been given the right to be called the children of God. Not born by the will of the husband, not born because of ancestral line, but they are born because of the will of the Father. The Father produces a woman, not by the will of the husband. Woman, where's your husband? Because everything that is happening in your life has been by the will of the husband. How about the will of the Father happening in your life as a woman? The will of the Father. You must get the will of the Father. Underline will. Will. It's something that is opened after death. It's opened after death. So Sarah's womb was dead. So as Abraham's loins were dead. Where there's death, where there's death, something is going to be opened. Your children are not born by natural descent, but they are born by the Spirit. So it's through the Spirit. Are we going somewhere? They are born of the Spirit. Now listen, brothers and sisters. Now you, brothers and sisters, like Isaac. If you, brothers and sisters, it's like Isaac. Because you are believing. Brothers and sisters are believers. Now you, brothers and sisters, like Isaac, are children of the promise. At that time, the son born according to the flesh persecuted the son born by the power of the Spirit.
o ile a tlaiša morwa a tswetsweng ka maatla a semoya
It is the same now.
go a swana gone bjale
It is the same.
go a swana
But what does the scripture say?
mangwalo a reng
Get rid of the slave woman.
lele ka mosadi o wa lekgoba
Get rid, that woman,
mo lele ke mosadi o
of the old covenant.
kgwerano ya kgale
Get rid.
leleka
So this is what we are here.
se ke se re se
God is going to help you to get rid
modimo o tlo go thuša go
of
leleka
that woman.
mosadi o
You're going to get rid of that woman.
o tlo leleka
So get rid of the slave woman
leleka mosadi o wa
and a
lekgoba
son.
le morwa wa
For the
gagwe
slave woman's son
ka re morwa
will
wa
never
lekgoba
share in the inheritance with the free woman's son.
a ka se abelane
Therefore,
bokgwa
brothers
le
and
mosadi ya
sisters,
lokolokileng bo morwa re le dikgaetšedi
We are not children of the slave woman,
a se rena bana ba mosadi o wa
but
lekgoba
of the free woman,
e fela re ba mosadi wa go lokologa
the woman of the new covenant.
mosadi wa kgwerano e
In
ntšhwa
the new covenant,
kgweranong e
you must
ntšhwa
get it. If you represent the new covenant right now, you are not going to teach the law. You are not a teacher of the law. You are going to teach freedom because you're a woman of the new covenant. Whatever you name, whatever you say, whatever you speak, whatever you say shall be from the Father. It shall not be from men because it's of the new covenant.
kgwerano e ntšhwa
Of the new covenant.
kgwerano e ntšhwa
When the lion is not around,
ge tau e
the
se
lioness does everything
tau ya mosadi e dira
as if the
sengwe le se
lion
sengwe.
is there.
E dira o ka re tau ya monna e gona
Togela, ke dumediša Phuthego. Ke dumediša le Papa.
I greet the congregation and I greet our father as well.
Nna ke nna Isaac Lekubo ke tšwa ke le Beggarsford.
My name is Isaac. I am from Beggarsford.
Ke motho e le gore ke gotše ka anger.
I am a person or one who grew up having anger.
Ke itše go thoma go tseba Rabone ka 2015.
After I knew Raboni in the year 2015,
Anger e la ya fela.
that anger went away.
E startile gape ka this year.
It started again this year
After ke seno fapana le abuti wa ka mosadi wa gagwe.
after we had a disagreement with my brother concerning his wife.
O riegile gore ge abuti wa ka ya go nyala re go ile gwa se be le kwano.
It happened that when my brother went to marry, there were disagreements.
Because e be ke sa nyake taba tša dikgokagano ka emela kua thoko.
Because I did not want quarrels, then I stood aside.
Jwale go a thoma ditlashe godimo go yena le mosadi wa gagwe.
Now, there were clashes between himself and his wife.
Go a gapeletša gore ke e tsene.
Then I had to be involved.
Ke mo anger e thommego gona jwang.
That's where the anger started again.
Go a fihlela mo e le gore ke kgona go mo tšea ke tla le yena mo kerekeng.
And there came a point where I could bring them to church.
Mo Rabone.
Then we came to Raboni Center Ministries.
Dilo di a tsamaya ga re go bua mo Rabone dilo di a tsamaya gabotse.
After they came to Raboni and they went back home, things started going well.
A boela mo yena a kenago kereke ntshe.
Then he went back where he fellowships.
A fihla tlhalosetša spiritual matters a gagwe.
When they got there, they explained to the spiritual mother.
Ke ga spiritual matters a gagwe
Then their spiritual mother.
se bolela gampe ka moruti Pastor Lesego.
Then the spiritual mother spoke bad about our father, Professor Lesego Daniel.
Ke ga mphounela.
Then he called me,
A ntlhalosetša seo.
then explained this to me.
Ya thoma ga ba ka ya ba go fela a felela ke mmereko.
Then there came a point where he lost his job.
Ya ba abuti ya ka e le gore wa mo sokodiša.
Oh, then my brother started troubling her or giving her problems.
O ba go fitlhela le gane jwale a se bašo ba kopana abuti wa ka ebile o kry-ile e nngwe gare.
Until now, they are not together, and my brother is involved with another woman.
Jwale mate wa mo go abuti wa ka mo o kgona le go mphounela.
The helper in my brother's house calls me.
A re ngwanyana a dula le abuti wa ka o ne sangome a e šomišago mo go abuti wa ka.
And the helper said that this lady who stays with my brother consults with the Sangoma with regards to my brother.
Jwale ka no fetša ke tlogetše ile ka nwa mokgong.
Then I left the matter as is.
Jwale enka e tsogilego ke a yena mogatši abuti wa ka.
Now the anger that I have is towards my sister-in-law.
A ke ra re bo kerekeng a tla kgone go confessa. O paletše ko go tla ka taba a re o atimetuleng ba re ka mogadi a menagano ba go nagana kudu ba.
I wanted her to come and confess, but she couldn't come because she's admitted in a psychiatric hospital.
Jale ebile ngapeleditše gore ke enka ekwe ke a e bona re since this year e thoma ke boela kua bophelong jwa ka jwa kgale jwa go lwa le batho.
Now I've noticed that ever since this anger came back, I've went back to my old life of fighting people.
Ke bone ebile ke motho e le gore ke bogela Rabone full time.
I'm one who watches Raboni TV most of the time.
Ge ka se bona le mo screening ke nna ke kgona go founa gore na e ria jwang.
If it's not the broadcasted, I would even call to check what is happening.
Gore enka e ya ka kudu ke bone ebile ke bolela gampe le motho ke mo founetšego mo Rabone.
The way this anger has escalated, I even found myself talking bad to the person that I had called here at Rabone Center Ministries. Now I'm here to ask for forgiveness for all those things from God and from our Father.
Le o ke boletšego le yena gampe